Night settles over Berlin, 1943. A city veiled in shadow. Streetlights are dimmed to thin needles of amber behind blackout curtains. The air smells of dust, oil, and quiet exhaustion. From above, the city is a sprawl of muted geometry. Silent rooftops, domed towers, the faint silver of the Spree River winding through a sleeping empire. For years, this city has endured the thunder of bombers, the trembling of the ground beneath sirens and smoke. But tonight, the sky is still. Then, something moves. Not a plane, not the deep growl of engines, just a soft, continuous hum, steady as breath, colder than wind. A shape glides through the night, unseen, guided by no pilot. Its wings do not tilt with hesitation. Its eyes, twin lenses of glass and carbon, observe without emotion. Below, somewhere in the maze of darkness, inside a fortified bunker, a single man sleeps under the weight of a war he believes he commands. No radar tracks the intruder. No gunner peers skyward. The air defenses of the Reich are built to fight steel and fuel, not silence and code. This thing, this visitor from another century, carries a thought humanity is not yet ready to think. That one person, one decision, one heartbeat, could be ended from half a world away. The city does not yet know it is being watched. The world does not yet understand what precision truly means. If, in this moment, a single modern drone drifted above 1943 Berlin, what would happen next? Would history change? Or would history find another way? The year is 1943. Europe burns from the Atlantic to the Volga. Empires move by train, telegram, and rumor. The art of killing is vast, but still bound by the human hand. Technology, though formidable, remains mechanical, guided by levers, propellers, and human eyes. Every weapon demands presence. Every strike requires risk. Adolf Hitler, by now, is both the architect and prisoner of his own war. He sleeps in reinforced bunkers, wrapped in concrete and paranoia. Around him, the machinery of the Reich whirs relentlessly. Typists, officers, messengers, and the low hum of generators deep underground. The Allies know where he is, sometimes, but the distance between knowing and reaching remains immense. There are no guided weapons, no unmanned craft, only men, explosives, and chance. There were attempts, though few came close. July 20th, 1944, a briefcase under a table. Before that, scattered plots involving poisoned food, hidden bombs, and failed infiltrations. Every effort constrained by one immutable fact: precision did not yet exist. The air war over Germany depended on area bombing, vast carpets of destruction, designed to break cities, not individuals. Thousands of tons of ordnance dropped to claim one target, often missing entirely. The technology to find and strike a single man, at night, in motion, through walls of steel, was a dream for future centuries. To imagine a modern drone here, in this world of cables and paper maps, is to imagine a ghost among giants. Invisible, cold, relentless. But what would it truly mean to place a tool of 21st century precision into the most chaotic decade of the 20th century? How would it move through radar, through weather, through history itself? A drone from the modern age carries more than machinery. It carries awareness. Satellites whisper coordinates across oceans. Cameras see heat through walls. Algorithms guide it through silence. But in 1943, the sky is primitive. Its guardians blind to such precision. Germany's radar stations, known as Freya and Würzburg, sweep the horizon for bomber formations. They expect the roar of Merlin engines, the clustered echoes of wings. A drone, small and carbon-skinned, would vanish between their waves like mist between trees. Its speed would not dazzle, perhaps 300 kilometers per hour. But its invisibility would define it. The Luftwaffe's defenses are built for confrontation, not absence. Flak guns, searchlights, night fighters, all react to what can be seen, heard, or predicted. A machine guided by GPS, by silent signals, would seem like an apparition. Yet even ghosts face limits. In 1943, no satellite network exists. No remote pilot can steer from across continents. For this thought experiment, we imagine the drone fully self-contained, pre-programmed, autonomous. Carrying its own intelligence and mission data, it navigates by terrain, by stars, by inertial memory. Its payload, small but surgical, contrasts with the era's philosophy of scale. Where the Allies drop 10,000 bombs to strike a factory, this drone carries one charge the size of a backpack, yet accurate within meters. Its sensors identify a vehicle, a heat signature, a building entrance, and decide. The contrast is unsettling. One side of history still fights with hands and maps. The other, unseen, uses data as sight and logic as instinct. Placed in 1943, such a drone would not only transcend defenses, it would transcend comprehension itself. Berlin sleeps beneath a heavy sky. The streets are dark ribbons between buildings fractured by war. A convoy moves quietly through the Tiergarten, 2 staff cars and a motorbike, their engines muffled, headlights dimmed to slits of yellow. Inside the lead car sits the most guarded man in Europe. Above them, unseen, the air shifts. A modern drone, no larger than a table, follows their path. It drifts low, its rotors whispering against the damp October air. Its sensors trace the convoy's heat signatures, the rhythm of movement through shadow. It calculates, waits, watches. In another century, it would be controlled from a distant base, pilots staring at monitors, issuing commands. Here, it acts alone. Its mind is a small, silent map of logic and precision. The convoy halts at a checkpoint. Guards step forward, rifles slung across shoulders. They wave the cars through. The drone descends, its motion almost still, a silhouette against cloud. Its camera sees through the roof of the staff car, detecting heat where flesh meets steel. One signature, steady, unmistakable. It moves closer. No one hears it. No one looks up. A small door opens beneath its frame. A charge, shaped and narrow, falls through darkness. A spark of the future, entering the past. It meets the car, piercing the world's most fragile equilibrium. There is no explosion in the cinematic sense. Only a brief flash of white, a sound like a sigh, metal folding inward, glass scattering like dust. Then silence again. The convoy halts. The night remains still. History, in that single moment, fractures. But what happens next, when the noise fades, when the smoke clears, reveals the true weight of this impossible act. The dawn after the strike is quiet. Berlin wakes to confusion, not destruction. No bombers, no sirens, Just a broken convoy on a side street. Its center car blackened, windows shattered, guards motionless in disbelief. By noon, the news filters upward through the Reich's machinery. Whispers replace orders. Commanders hesitate before speaking. The voice that once dictated everything, gone. Without Hitler, the Nazi state loses its axis. There is no clear successor. Himmler seeks order through fear, Göring through indulgence, Goebbels through delusion. The generals, pragmatic and weary, stare at the Eastern Front collapsing under Soviet pressure. They see an empire without direction, a machine running without fuel. In the days that follow, the propaganda ministry claims a tragic accident. But silence cannot sustain faith. By winter, loyalty begins to erode. Regional officers negotiate quietly with Allied envoys. The SS fractures. Some resist. Others surrender. The war's end accelerates, not through invasion, but through implosion. Yet history is rarely merciful. Without its symbolic villain, the narrative of justice blurs. There are no Nuremberg speeches, no cinematic fall of Berlin. Only a gradual disintegration, less visible, less cathartic. The Allies still advance, the cities still burn, but the meaning shifts. The drone strike erases a man, but not an ideology. It prevents speeches, not suffering. In the absence of Hitler, perhaps millions live, or perhaps others die sooner, under chaos rather than command. War, once linear, dissolves into confusion. The world wins faster, perhaps, but it learns less. And as smoke fades from that Berlin street, one question lingers, unanswered in the static of time. Can precision ever replace understanding? History often moves through noise, through chaos, through the visible weight of nations colliding. But sometimes it turns in silence, in a moment so precise that only reflection can reveal its depth. A modern drone in 1943 is more than an anachronism. It is a mirror. It shows what happens when knowledge outruns understanding, when the tools of the future are placed in hands not yet shaped to hold them. Technology grants reach, but not wisdom. It allows us to touch distant lives, to alter paths across oceans and generations. Yet in doing so, it strips away the closeness of consequence. The drone that hovers over Berlin does not feel fear, does not weigh mercy. It acts because it was told to act. In its perfect logic lies a human absence, period. And perhaps that absence defines progress as much as invention, period. The death of one man, even one so catastrophic in his making, cannot untangle the web of his era, period. Wars are not built solely on orders. They are built on belief, on fear, on the momentum of millions, period. Remove the symbol, and the structure still breathes for a time, period. History, then, is not a puzzle of single decisions, but of inherited motion. A drone might end a life, period. It cannot end an idea. As the camera drifts upward from the quiet streets of Berlin, through smoke and cloud, lines of light, veins of memory. The hum that began this story disappears into wind. And the question remains, still unanswered. If precision could have rewritten history, would we have learned enough to deserve that power?